So I've been dying for a little while to talk to you guys about employee stock purchase plans. And the big question that comes up in relation to employee stock purchase plans is, should I participate? Are they good investments? And spoiler alert, guys, yes, they are typically great investment opportunities if used properly. Now, I know that it may seem a little scary since it involves the word stock, but maybe if I break things down for you, it won't be quite that way. So, to start with, what are employee stock purchase programs? Well, they're benefits that publicly traded companies offer to allow employees to buy shares in the company, typically at a discounted rate. Oh, well, we don't want to buy shares in this company. Well, I will tell you. The reason that companies offer them is because it's another way to recruit and keep employees without locking themselves into ongoing commitments, things that add to companies' year-to-year expenses, okay? For instance, it's kind of like a bonus. The reason they offer a bonus is because they don't have to offer you a bonus necessarily the next year, okay? So it's a case where if the times get lean for the company, they can dial back a little bit if they have to. Now, of course, to you, you might be asking, oh, okay, well, what's so great in it for me? Well, for you, it gives employees a stake in the company, okay? It gives you some skin in the game a little bit. Your fate is tied a little bit to the company's fate, okay? So it increases employee loyalty, morale, productivity. It causes less turnover. It makes people less likely to steal from the company. Things of that nature. So it is a win-win. It's one of those rare win-wins for both you and the company, which is why I've been excited to talk to you about it for a little while. Honestly, it's been on my list of things. So how does it work? Well, you contribute to employee stock purchase programs typically through a payroll deduction, usually in terms of a percentage, and it's taken out usually on an after-tax basis. Each program has its own nuances and whatnot. Usually the company will provide a letter or something that gives you all the ins and outs, okay? But there is typically a start or offering date associated with this benefit, and then there is an end date or a purchase date associated with it as well. And so money builds up kind of in a limbo or holding account, whatever. It's something that typically you don't have access to. And until the purchase date, and then the company buys shares for you. And what they will do is typically they will purchase those shares for you at a discounted rate. Now, sometimes there is a look-back provision along with this, and that's a possibility for a big win for you. So you not only get the discounted rate, but you would also get either the lower of the offering date stock purchase price or the end date purchase price. Typically, as I said, whichever is lower, okay? So, for instance, if the starting stock price at the beginning of the year was $2 a share, and at the end of the year it was $10 a share, well, then you would get to buy stock under these conditions at the $2 price, discounted whatever percentage the company was offering. Again, typically as high as 15%. So, what is the catch? Well, good of you to ask. You are a savvy individual, clearly. It's a stock. So, the fact that it's a stock means it is possible for the stock price to take a dump immediately after the stock is purchased. This is rare, guys. And even if it does, then it just means that you might hold on to the stock for a little while and wait it out. Remember, you've got a share in the company that you're working for. So you have a vested interest, and you would know ahead of time, oh, hello there, if there were problems afoot and what prospects typically looked like. But in the case of buying at the lower rate of beginning of the year versus end of the year, the company obviously is hoping that the stock price at the end of the year is going to be more than at the beginning of the year, and so are you. So your fates are tied together in that instance. All right, the other thing, there's one other downside. You're like, oh yeah, I knew it was too good to be true. Well, hold on, don't be panicking. Because the other downside is taxes. As we know, good old Uncle Sam has his fingers in everybody's pie, right? There's no such thing as a free ride, and he wants his cut, right? But, so the way it works, remember, you paid into the program with after-tax dollars usually. So the only tax that you typically get hit with as far as immediate is the discount that was being offered. So if you were offered the ability to buy stock at a discounted rate of 15%, well, you're taxed on that 15%, okay? And since you have the option to sell, well, you're typically going to make up those taxes that you're going to pay out. Remember, you're guaranteed a 15% rate, or whatever the rate of return that they were offering is, a rate of discount as a rate of return. I'm sorry, let me restate that. I'm a little distracted. I want to be clear because it's a really good thing, and I want to make sure you understand it. Yes, you may be taxed, okay, but you're already have a gain built in. You already have a net win for you of whatever the discount was that you were offered to buy this stock at, okay? So in the case of 15%, if you were offered the ability to buy stock at a discounted rate of 15%, then that means you immediately are kind of all but guaranteed a 15% return on your investment. You could turn right around and sell it and make that 15% as profit to you, and that's the amount that you would be taxed on. Now, if you hold on to your stock, or if you were given one of those, what did I call them, look-back provisions, then the stock might be worth more. So you might have bought it at the $2 beginning of the year price, discounted 15%, and now have the ability to sell it at the $10 price. So you could see where it could potentially have a huge payout. Now, because this has the potential to be a big deal, there are limitations and whatnot. I'm not going to get into that because for the most part, you're probably not going to run into that as a problem. But if you have the ability at all to take advantage of these situations, you absolutely should. I was able to take advantage of just such a deal. Remember, I've mentioned before, maybe to some people, that I used to work for a company called Providian. It was a credit card company. It was based in California, and California companies are typically the ones that offer such benefits the most. But the pool is expanding. Oh my goodness, I am going to get this deer real quick. Okay, well, I'm into the story portion, so you've got to hold on to find out how it ends. So let's get this deer. Boom, easy as that. Yes, winner, deer dinner. Okay, so I worked for Providian. They offered an employee stock purchase program, okay? The stock price at the beginning of the year was like $65, $67, okay? So pretty good. Now, I've told you, if you've been paying attention, that our CEO did some shenanigans, allegedly embezzled some funds. I don't really know how that came out, whether he, was tried and found guilty of that, whatever. Remember, stocks are highly regulated, so the government takes a dim view of people doing shenanigans with things like that. Anywho, so the price went down. The price, because of the CEO shenanigans, went way down. It went down to under $3 a share. Well, because I had one of those look-back provisions, I got the cheaper of the two rates. Okay, so I got the end-of-the-year price, which was much lower than the beginning-of-the-year price, of $3. Bummer, right? However, I bought it at a discount, so I was guaranteed to make at least some money out of the deal as long as it at least held that $3 value, which it did. And before too long, it rose to $8 a share, the stock price did. And it looked like things were going to be pretty rocky for a little while, so we went ahead and sold at that point and pocketed our profits. As I said, we made out like fat rats, so we better than doubled. We almost tripled our investment, thanks to the discount and everything else that was involved. So worked out very well for my wife and I. We in turn used that money to pay off some bills. It could work out similarly for you or better. Imagine if the stock price had been reversed, if the beginning of the year price had been $3 a share and the end of the year price had been $65 a share, and we had gotten the $3 a share price discounted at the 15%. Holy Hannah, would we have been on easy street? So, if you have the opportunity, you should take advantage of it. Okay, Chris, well, great. So are there any circumstances where I shouldn't take advantage of it? Yes, there are. And they are specific to you. If you are in debt up to your eyeballs and living check to check, then having something, one other thing cutting into your income, probably not the best move, guys. Which is why I stress having a financial plan, having an emergency fund, blah, blah, blah. You guys are smart. I'm not going to belabor that point that much tonight. But under those circumstances, yeah, you should get your own ship righted. Now, this might be a way to help you to do that, but oh my goodness, is it going to take some discipline? And you're probably going to have to take on a second job, part-time job, whatever. Find another way to put some money in the equation in the short term, okay? You guys are going to have to figure that out. But for today, guys, I just wanted to answer the question regarding employee stock purchase programs. Are they worth it? Is it a good thing? Yes, hands down, it absolutely can be under the right circumstances if you have taken the time to set yourself up for success so that you can take advantage of it. Which is why I talk about things like emergency funds, blah, 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 that I said I would not belabor. All right, well, as usual, guys, if you have questions, please hit me with those. You can do so at fustyandfinance@gmail.com. You can leave it in the comments below this video if you're watching on YouTube. Do you have any experience in employee stock purchase programs? If so, I'd love to hear about it. Tell us how yours worked. Remember, the whole point to this is to help each other. Not just for me to be here spouting off knowledge, but for us to get a bit of a hive mind going and for you guys to be contributing as well. And together, we can win financially.